Now we got some more people joining. All right, well, I guess we can wait a couple seconds to the masses run in.
They can catch it as they come. They should have got in early.
All right, let me set this up. Let me make you co-host really fast. All right, so let's get the recording going. And then
Recording in progress.
all right, good morning, everyone. It is Team Building Thursday, and today we have a treat. Mr. Bean. You all know him as maybe a prick, but that stands for something. I'm gonna let him tell you what that is. But Mr. Bean has been in several different industries, made millions, built massive teams, and he decided to come out of retirement to join Build. Now, we've had the pleasure of watching him come in as just a regular builder. He didn't want any type of, here, jump up to the top. Here's a favor because of my name. He came in and made his way to the top as a VP of sales. He did it just like everybody else. He said, I'm going to prove myself. I'm going to come into the company and I'm going to build. And I'm going to show everyone why I'm going to make it to the top. Showed us all. I met Mr. Bean a year and a half ago at our event. He was sitting at the front row, and I saw him and I said, well, if somebody's sitting in the front row, they're probably smart. They're probably reason they're in the front row. Went up, shook his hand, and said, hey man, nice to meet you. From there, skyrocketed to the top. So he's a family man, a military vet as well. And he's attracting leaders to this organization. And we're on the verge of, well, we are skyrocketing. We're on an uphill trend. And this gentleman is leading it. He's doing a city tour for Zeta. He's bringing in trading workshops. So he's doing it all. Today, we have the ability to ask him questions, ask him anything about team building, why he was so consistent. How did he stay consistent when times are hard, when he was going through foreclosure, when him and his wife were thinking, should we continue to do this? They persevered, and now they're at the top of our company, Build. So without any further ado, I want you to put your pens to the paper, sharpen them, make sure they're number two, because if they're a two pencil, they have to, that's what Scantrons work on, right? That's the only pencil that works. Record it, but pay attention. Pay attention to what this man is saying. Bring your questions. Think about what you want to ask a leader that has made millions in several industries, because you'll be able to get those answers today. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Sam Bean, our VP of Sales.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for hosting and doing what you're doing when it comes to serving the platform, bro. I appreciate you. You're Johnny on the spot. And so, and guys, like I'm excited about what's going on right now in, the Build family. And definitely wanted to go ahead and spend some time with you guys today. Chris called me last night after I landed back here in Houston from New York. Exciting trip, big things happening, and like no problem, bro. Put me in, and let's go ahead and make it happen. But we definitely wanted to do AMA today, and we want to do an AMA today because again, when it comes to building, confused people do absolutely nothing, and a lot of you guys, have been in the industry, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of fine tuning. Sometimes it takes a question or two being answered in a different way. You may have gotten that same answer, five, six, seven different times over 5 or 6, 7 years, but sometimes it just, it happens to be that one answer that you may need that changes everything. So we're definitely going to do the AMA today, and also, I have a little bit of thing because one of my secrets, guys, is mastering creating momentum, right? And that's one of those things that's one of the first things you really want to write down. And the person who creates the momentum creates the cash flow, right? And so when you can do that, guys, you really don't have any problems with building anything. You can start from anywhere. They can take me to a different country. I don't have to be able to speak the language. I can find a translator. And as long as that person can translate effectively, we can build from scratch and we can create something special. Okay. So what I want to do is before we get to firing off the questions, I do want to pull up a couple slides here and definitely want to give shouts out to Miss Stephanie, our corporate VA. She is cold-blooded. She put these slides together in, I think it was 7 minutes. And I gave it to her 10 minutes before the before the call started, and she threw them together for you guys. So, and it's real simple, because again, it's when it comes to momentum, there are a couple things that you want to know, and momentum is one of the, they call it the big Mo. Like once you get it started, guys, it's hard to get it to stop. It really takes something with equal or more force to stop it. Okay. And so as you see there, you create your flow state to create your cash flow. Okay. So momentum and movement are crucial when launching a new project because they actually help you. And let's go back. They help you, from a building perspective. If you're launching a group, guys, and you're creating momentum, the people who are already on your current team, it puts them in motion, right? It says, look at me, do as I do, not as I say, right? It says, work with me, not for me, right? It says, do it now or get left behind because the group is not going to slow up so you can catch up, right? And then for the people who are on the outside looking in, they can see your momentum based on your post social media, right? They can hear your momentum in your conversations, right? And when they come in and they see all the stories that you created and that resume that you created, now you set the precedent for them. You set the bar for them. You set the expectations for them coming in. So before we look at any other slides, okay, that I want to make sure you understand that from a foundational building perspective. Right. So it helps you build energy and enthusiasm, right? And some of this stuff is gonna, overlap and cross over, but it creates a sense of excitement and motivation among the team members and stakeholders. Guys, think about, what it's like when you become Builder 250 and then you help somebody become Builder 250. Right. And then your group is growing, and then you help somebody else become Builder 250. But now you got somebody that's Builder 700, right? And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to become a party. That excitement is contagious, guys. Okay. And so you actually get a chance to foster a positive and dynamic work environment. So, when you look at your group, you want to make sure you create a group, that's synonymous with sales, hyper sales. Like if somebody's always selling something, right? A group with recruiting. Somebody's always recruiting somebody, right? A group of motion, period. Somebody who's always presenting, somebody who's always at networking events, somebody who's always doing something, somebody who's always rank advancing. You want to create that type of environment. And that's what happens when you get people excited, get people moving, and get people, with results. Okay. Drive, progress and results. It drives progress and results. So obviously it helps to overcome obstacles, challenges by maintaining a forward momentum. And, when you look at that statement, yeah, that statement means a lot. So you have people who don't have any motion, right? They don't have any movement. They don't have any traction. And to them, anything is a big thing, right? To them, anything can come up and distract them. Anything can come up and really upset them. Anything can come up and steal their dream. Any no can come up. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have momentum, you don't have activity, you don't have growth, anything and any no that a person can give you can take you out. And so that's when we hear a person say that person has a one no dream. If that person had momentum, it wouldn't matter how many no's they had, right? If a person just came in, right, in the last 7 days, they went build a 250 and 15 people told them no, it wouldn't be a problem because they already got the results. They already know that it works. They've already got the checks. They already got a team that's growing and plugged in, and they're going to look at those no's like next, right? But when you have nobody and you have 15, 20 people on your list don't even have momentum, right? Your list has no drive, right? And you got a couple people on your list, and all of a sudden, you call a couple people and they say no, you out of there, right? Because you're already parked to begin with, right? But if you're running and you are running, and all of a sudden something happens, say we got a late product, shipment, or we got a delayed service, or someone is late on the commission or something like that, based on back office, whatever it is. That's not a problem for a person in momentum. They keep it moving, and we to keep nothing's a problem, right? Guys, is working. Let's just make sure we trust the company, do what they're going to do. That's a challenge. Or somebody quit. That's no problem. You just put 7 people in last week. That's not whatever the challenge is, guys. I'm gonna just tell you, if you're moving and in motion, the group is moving and in motion, you don't really have challenges. Those you have challenges, you just don't have problems. People with no traction, no motion, they have problems. Right. So when you talk about ensuring that the project stays on track and makes steady progress towards its goals, if you're running, everybody's winning, everybody's happy, everybody's excited. Um, every big problem that would be a big problem for somebody with no traction is a small problem and a fixable challenge rather to somebody who is in motion. Okay, so drive progress and results. Let's see here. All right. Engage the stakeholders, team members, basically. And so it keeps the stakeholders informed and invested in the project's success. So when you look at your momentum, guys, you look at JC Rangel as a stakeholder, as a principal. You look at Winston Navarro as a stakeholder, as a principal. You look at the Pacheco's as a stakeholder, and principals. Guys, when you're in motion, you can go to them with challenges. You can go with them with ideas. You can go with them with concepts. You can go to them with, and ask for support for events, a banner to support the event, or, can you buy the lunch? Whatever it is, guys, when you have motion, okay, and you go to the stakeholders, you go to the owners, you go to the principals, you go to the people who run the show, who own the show, guys, they'll do whatever you need for you to get it done because you're already in motion. You're already running. The person who's coming in not doing anything, all they're doing is complaining, and you're asking for stuff at the same time. You're not moving a needle. They're moving around. They're not listening to you. That information, that conversation is falling on deaf ears, right? When you have momentum, when you got your group going and growing, right? When you're actually moving the needle for the company, right? At that point in time, you have a little leverage. Okay. And that leverage, guys, it's called results, right? So you're keeping them informed. You're sending them what we call an IPA, an income producing activity check sheet. Like every day, hey, look, I did X, Y, and Z amount of presentations. I did X, Y, and Z amount of three ways and lifelines. We signed up X, Y, and Z amount of people, right? The group grew today by X, Y, and Z amount of people. When you send JC Rangel a text message like that, what do you think he's going to say? Okay. How do you think Winston Navarro is going to feel when he gets a text message like that? All right. When Roberto Robledo is having a mixer, and he's got all these people in his house, he and Veronica, and he's sending a text message, to Winston saying, "Hey, look, there's so many people we had in the house. What type of emotion you think he's going to have, right?" So when Roberto or Veronica call him, they'll be able to call him and ask him for anything and they'll be able to get it. Right. So encourage team members to stay focused and motivated. So again, while you're moving, while you're running, okay, and people see you moving, people see you running, people see you growing, people see now all of a sudden you have access to the platform, you're speaking, you're training, you're presenting. People pay attention to this stuff. Right. And now again, it keeps them, motivated. So it reduces procrastination and stagnation. Right. So the biggest nation of any and all nation, guys, and we've all lived there and resided there at some point in time, is procrastination. Not Asia, not America, right? It's the biggest nation of any and all nation, guys. And that's the one thing that kills your deal. That's the one thing that steals your dreams. And I'm gonna just say right now, when you have motion and you have momentum, you don't have to worry about that. Okay? Even the people who stop, slow down, it don't matter. It's so much going on around them. It's so much happening around them that it becomes infectious and it makes them continue to move as opposed to stopping. And even if they try to stop, the momentum is going to push them forward again. Okay. So overcome inertia, resistance and inertia, right? Making it easier to get the project off the ground. That's when everybody's moving again. People who are sitting still, obviously, you're gonna have a couple of them. Like give you an example. If you have 12 people, you put 12 people in your first, let's say 30 days. You're gonna have three to four of those people who are gonna build. Three or four of those people are gonna run with you. Three or four of those people are gonna grind. They're gonna present. They're gonna prospect. They're gonna follow the system. They're gonna be on the calls. They're gonna do everything that you say. Now, the other eight to nine are gonna find something to complain about. They're gonna find a challenge with something, and guess what? Some of those challenges are going to be valid. Okay, but it doesn't mean that it should stop you. Right? It doesn't mean it should be a reason or excuse for you to stop building your business. Right? But when a person gets started, eight or nine are going to become distractions, okay, or attempt to be. But if you're running with the other three to four, right, okay, and you create a sense of momentum with the other three to four, those three to four will make the other eight to nine realize that, man, they're running with the same challenges that I have. because we're in the same company. We have the same service. We have the same product. Got the same comp plan, right? So they're not making excuses. They're making it happen. They're not making excuses. They're making money. They're not making excuses. They're making momentum. They're not making excuses. They're making me look bad, right? So what happens is the other 8 or 9, half of them are gonna quit because they got exposed. The other half of them are gonna get it popping. They're gonna jump in. They're gonna run with you, right? So this is how you reduce procrastination and stagnation. This is how you eliminate inertia. This is how you get everybody to move around you. Focus on the people who are running. Okay. You leave the other 8 to 9 to the system. You leave the other 8 to 9, to the meetings on Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. The fast start, the super Saturdays on the second Saturday of every month. You lead them to the millionaire mentorship call on Monday night, right? You lead them to the 12 o'clock call, the 10 o'clock call on Monday, right? You lead them to the system. Remember, the system, what is it supposed to do? Save you time, energy, money, and stress. Okay, systems. That's what systems do. So a system is an incubator. When you go and buy your Popeye's chicken, right? You don't buy out the grease chicken. That chicken's been there for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, some situation, right? But it's been under that heat lamp. Your system is that heat lamp, right? And when everybody's putting all of their numbers in the chat, all of their solar deals in the chat, all of their water deals in the chat, all of their Zeta deals in the chat, right? And they're seeing all this stuff happening around them is keeping them warm enough to where they heat up and get hot, and then now you pull them out of the incubator, put them in a bag, and send them on their way, right? That's when the leader says, "Hey, you're ready." Since you start to move, you start to present, you start to bring people to the table. You got me doing 3 ways and lifelines. Now I can work with you, right? But that only happens when, again, the synergy around them and the environment around them is forcing them to move forward. Okay. So improve, it momentum helps you improve adaptability and resilience. So enable the project team to respond quickly to changes and challenges, right? Foster culture of that adaptability and resilience. Guys, when you look at build, we build on the fly. Okay, we've had changes. We've had things announced. We have things halfway launched, almost launched, was going to launch. Right. We had things that we launched and pulled back. Right. And so you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to change. Right. And so regardless of whose fault it is, or if it's the vendor's fault, if it's the company's fault, or if whatever it is, guys, it don't matter. Right. When you have momentum, you have things going and growing, you're running as there's no such thing as a build problem, build challenge, not a build problem. You can build, you will adapt, you will overcome, you will trust me. I have evolved a couple of times since I've been in this company, well, more than a couple of times since I've been in this company. And if you haven't, it's probably because you've actually been here in build as a solar person and just building solar because that's what you came here for. You never had to adapt. Okay. But if you came here and say, you know what, I want to do this, I want to do that, and all of a sudden that's not available right now, or we're not launching that right now, or you know what, we was going to do that, but you know what, we just found out that company was shady, so we're not going to do that right now. I mean, you guys, put your hands up if you know what I'm talking about right now. Like you've been here long enough to see some things change, to see us overcome some as a company, to see your groups evolve. Put just something in the chat saying, me, fire, one. I don't care what you put in there. Just let me know you're alive. Okay, because you have to be able to adapt 100%. One thing about people who are entrepreneurs, guys, they are extremely flexible. Okay. They are extremely flexible and they're very emotionally sophisticated. Okay. And so when you look at people who are not emotionally sophisticated, they get caught up on everything. Everything matters to them, right? And the project should be the only thing that matters. Like I said, at the end of the day, as long as your people are getting taken care of, right, and the company's not doing anything unethical, right, that's you should be there saying, okay, so what do I need to do to help us get over this problem, around this challenge, and make this thing happen? Because I want to make sure we don't lose our what? Momentum. We don't want to lose our emotion. Okay. So By building momentum and movement, guys, project teams, can create a sense of urgency and enthusiasm that drives progress and results, ultimately leading to successful project launches. So when you look at this, guys, out the gate, and I'm telling you guys, I wanted to start with this because you're now, a lot of you are relaunching. If you're brand new, you're launching. A lot of you who have been here for, if you're like me, you're relaunching. Okay. I'm relaunching. Right. So if I'm relaunching, I know the majority of y'all are relaunching. If you unless you're brand new. Right. So when you actually relaunch, guys, or when you launch for the first time, just know this, like I started off with it, as you have to now understand that when a person asks you, how's it working for you? Right? You say, you know what? I don't know how it's working for everybody else, but I just launched or I just relaunched. And, in my first, 7 days or 2 weeks, I went and built a 250. In my first 7 days of my or 2 weeks, I went and build a 700 and I helped somebody go build a 250, or I helped two people go build a 250. Okay. Or I don't know how it's working for everybody else, but in my first 7 days, I sold three Zetas. In my first 7 days, guys, I brought on 11, people who want to trade, right? In my first, and so when you get this thing going, you get this momentum. Remember, these are your first days. You're in the industry, right, where it's all forgiven. Right? Nobody cares about your past if you can make them forget what your future. Like with the present and the future, if you can go out here and reinvent yourself, relaunch your business, come up with a brand new resume, of results. The line starts today. If you're gonna start over and launch today, the line starts today. And so now every day, everything from today goes forward. Okay, this is like credit. Yeah, credit bureaus and people that want to know about your credit don't care what happened 2 years ago. That's why if you look at a lot of people stop paying their credit, people who wised up to the system and realized that they say, you know what, I'm gonna be rebuilding for the next year to 2 years anyway. So what I'm not gonna do is just pay these bills. Okay. I'm just gonna save my money and do what I gotta do, get myself out of debt, make sure my household's good, make sure my household's secure, and I'm just gonna start all over again. Start some new lines of credit over here. Start some accounts over here that are secured. Start get some CDs over here and borrow from them. I'm gonna go over here and do this and put more money in the bank. And whatever I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do. And 2 years later, you got amazing credit. Okay. Well, guess what, guys? It's almost 2 years later for some of you. And if you launch right this time, you relaunch right. Guess what? In a year from now, you're gonna have amazing credit. When I'm talking about amazing credit, I'm talking about an amazing brand. Okay. I'm talking about the industry will know you as a builder. The industry will know you as somebody who had a lot of sales. The industry will know you as somebody who they built a really nice size, trading community. The builder would know you, like your brand would be something new and it would look nothing like your horrible credit, for the last year, last 6 months, last 2 years when it comes to bill. Some of us in this company have horrible business credit. We have horrible brands, right? Again, as a leader, you take responsibility for it 100%. I take 100% for where I am not. I made bold statements and promises when I first got started, and again, some of that came from my ignorance of not knowing the solar industry and the comp plan the way I really needed to know it. There's some dynamics that I couldn't account for, but it's not the company's fault. So guess what? That's bad credit. I got a year and a half, almost 2 years of bad credit behind me. So guess what I do now? Draw the line, start all over again, reestablish my credit, rebuild up my credit. So now when I go out there and I put my build ID on the line, it's, oh, he's got great credit. Oh yeah, he's built massive organizations. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of people over here that's built a 250, built a 700, built a 1500, built a 3500, built a 8000. His credit is immaculate. Give him what he wants, right? So that's why, guys, I'm telling you right now, you're in the right place at the right time, right? There's a little bit of reminder, right? What happens when you have a quick credit? The better your credit, remember, the bigger the rank, the better your credit got, right? And so you just keep on building on your credit, right? Building on your momentum. Go 200, build a 250. If you're not build a 250, go build a 250. And then that's what you do. After you do it, go do it again. You already built a 250. Just go do it again. Do what you did to get to build a 250 the first time, right? So if you put 4 or 5 people in business and everything leveled out, and guess what? You got build a 250 done. Guess what? Next week. Go do the same exact thing. Go put 4 or 5 people in there and go build a 250 again. And that compounding interest, that compounding credit, right? That's going to build up to build a 700, right? And then guess what? While you're doing it, find somebody else to go build a 250 through, right? So if I'm looking at Dr. Kenneth, I'm already been build a 250. I'm looking at Dr. Kenneth. He just came on. He's telling me all the good stuff. He made a big list and he's ready to rock and roll. I said, I can go build a 250 through him. So, okay. I rock with Dr. Kenneth. He goes to build a 250. So he brings on Rod Obi. I said, oh, I can go build a 250 through him. Right. And so now I got Dr. Kenneth build a 250. Now I got Rod Obi build a 250. And now guess what? He brings on, or Dr. Kenneth brings on Tim Neal. Right. And another leg of business. And now I can go through him. Right. And so now all of a sudden he's got Tim on one side, he's got Rod on one side, he's built a 700 or built a 1500 by this time, guys, because they got so much stuff going on that credit is building. Understand this, guys. Everybody that you have in your portfolio as a builder 250 is a positive credit reference on your credit. Like, oh yeah, that mortgage is paid up on time and early. Oh yeah, that car is paid up and it was paid off before agreed. Every one of those people is a really good mark on your credit, your resume. That I'm telling you, this is how you just like you rebuild your credit, rebuild your business, rebuild your life. This is what I've done.
Oh, I think we lost him. He was bringing so much heat.
Woo, it was powerful.
Yes.
Yes, he.
All right, let's wait till it
Smoke the line.
comes back on.
Okay, he be back. Good stuff.
All right, there we go.
It was so hot it went up.
Too hot. Too hot to trot. Mr. Bean,
Yeah,
you
so
back
can you
on?
hear me? There we
Yep.
go. So yeah, when you get ready to do something amazing and epic, guys, you're gonna be confronted by violent opposition. I didn't have my laptop plugged in, so didn't know that I was just on fire. So hey, here it is. Hey, look, you can make mistakes on the way to millions, man. I've done it. I'm trying to tell you over and over again. How many? Ask JC how many mistakes he made before he went while he was making millions of dollars. Ask Daniela's on here. Ask her how many mistakes her dad made when he was on his way to making millions of dollars. Ask Winston. Trust me, there's some other millionaires on here, guys. They've all made millions and made mistakes at the same time. You fell forward. So, as I was saying, guys, you understand what I was talking about when it came to getting your business credit together. Make sure you put yourself in a position, guys, where you just start rebuilding your life like you rebuild your credit. Some of you guys, you rebuilt your credit over and over and over again, and you normally do it at the time you want to buy something, right? So at the end of the day, just pretend that you want to buy a new life, right? And this is going to be the way you do it by becoming a what? A Builder 250 factory. So that's what I wanted. That's what the momentum, when it comes to momentum, guys, that's what I really wanted you guys, to get, to hear, to feel, what I'm saying, to understand. You can always put things put things out, to people in a way that they can receive it. And I really hope that you guys received that and got that, because again, I'm all about painting pictures, right? I'm all about giving and creating a verbal brochure for people so they can really get it in their spirit, and when they say they got it, they really got it. So what I'll do right now is I'll open it up, for the AMA session, and you guys talk to me. What you guys got? What kind of questions you got when it comes to rebuilding your business, rebuilding your life when it comes around this business financially? What you guys got? Any questions?
Mr. Bean, do we want to have them raise their hand?
No, it just come off mute because
Okay.
we have civilized people here.
James, go ahead.
Hey, good morning. Quick question regarding the loaning of the Zeta boxes. So I've gotten a pushback on my company won't allow me to use a different router than the one they provide me. And so I'm just wondering if people have run into that. I've heard HIPAA laws. So I'm starting to kind of get pushback on that when people are working from home. They're saying that they have to have the router that their company provides, maybe, or that they, had to purchase for doing business at home. And so I'm just wondering, pushback on that.
Okay.
Does that make
So,
sense?
Roberto Robledo, are you on here? I see you on here. Can you help me with that one?
I am here, sir. Yes.
Come on, man. See, I got team members, boy. I got family here, boy. Come on, can you hook him up for me?
I'm here, Mr. Bean.
Can you answer this question for me, please? Can you address that for me?
Yeah, yeah. So so some companies are a little strict, especially if they work for a financial institution, medical field. Just to give you an example, my sister-in-law, she works from home and she works for a hospital. So what we did is we hooked up Zeta as the main router, and we're still using her company's secure hardware to protect her assets. So some companies are different. The main thing is I have not heard of a company providing their own router. The router is typically provided by the ISP. They might give them maybe like a hotspot. They might give them like their special laptop, their special token, or like a VPN token to connect their laptop. It's not common to see a company telling an employee they're working from home, you have to use the router that we send you. So not sure where that is, but like I said, it's my sister-in-law had a similar situation, and what we did is we're using the Zeta router to provide network for my parents' house, and her equipment is still using her company's secure protocols and hardware to keep everything in place. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
they can use a VPN, right?
yeah.
Javara, you're correct.
So it's
Yeah,
just
and
it's just the terminology. It's just the terminology that the person probably doesn't understand, working from home, that the router is not their database. Because my wife works from home as well. She works for a financial institution, for a bank, and she works in fraud. And we set up her computer directly to the router, and that's totally separate from her token, her VPN, because that's all internal on their hard drive that the company has provided for them. So when you're talking to someone, just be sure that you're asking them like, hey, is there like two separate pieces that they provided you? Did they provide you with like an actual, like a drive where you have to have that connected?
No.
Because internet service is completely different, and plugging your Ethernet from that data center into the router, companies are not providing the actual routers. So I think it's just like understanding the terminology when you're talking to them.
The other thing too,
Correct.
I'd weigh in on, if you guys don't mind, I've been in IT security for 25 years in IT operations and have deployed this across the country for thousands of people. Some environments have a device that goes home that automatically connects into the firewall. So it's like a built-in VPN, but exactly like everyone has said, you are 100% accurate. There's no reason in IT security that I can go back in 25 years of understanding why the Zeta can't go in front, and then behind it, you plug in this appliance that they provide you on the LAN side, exactly like you would to the Verizon or Comcast or Charter, whoever you have. Exactly the same way you do it. You just plug that in direct to the Zeta. It's doing nothing on the security side that's going to hinder anything.
Yep.
And I know 100, I'm 100% confident that you can use it. That's how confident I am in what I'm saying. I'm not even like kind of maybe. I'm 100% positive you can use it.
Yeah, no, it completely right. And then on
Mhm.
the Zeta router, there's ways that you can set up VPN tunnels. So, even if they, or VLANs as well. That's a little more high level, but like I said, I run into this with my sister-in-law, no issues whatsoever, as long as the computer and the data that the company that you're working for is secure, and they will provide their own protocols and their own hardware.
Now, also the other thing is this, guys. I want to make sure we all understand this. Um, that's a really good way for them to tell you no.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I want to make
Bottom
sure we
line,
understand
yeah,
this. I want to make sure
I
nobody
know.
on here is naive
You need to look
because
it up.
nobody knows what we can use and what we can't use. They don't know our equipment like we know our equipment. So that's a way of saying, you know what, I love you, bro. I'm not ready to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't understand that. And that's a soft pillow for them to say, hey, lay on this. I'm gonna go that way. You go that way, and we're good. And they don't have any, and if they feel good about telling you no that way, as opposed to just telling you flat out no. And so again, that's
No
when you
doubt.
get the
No doubt.
experts on the line and say, hey, look, this is what we got. We can do it if you're open to doing it. It's not that we can't. We already know how to override that. That's not a problem. And we are 100% compatible with 100% of everything we got out there. So, and then
Okay.
until somebody proves us different, again, we are in control. Stay in control. All right. Appreciate the question.
Um,
Next question.
Matthew.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for being on the call here today, Mr. Bean. And
Oh, good.
thanks for calling me out, Chris. So, question I have is coming from your experience in the industry and coming across the different industries, what advice would you give new up and coming young entrepreneurs that come from say a circle or circumference of friends that aren't motivated, and they're the one that's stepping out of their circle of unmotivated friendships, right? And
Mhm.
they're stepping out and they want to be successful in this industry where they may not know how to reach out to people, how to build up their organization there. What advice would you give somebody for that?
I would say go on a 90-day fast. Fast from your friends. And if your family negative, fast from your family. Right? Go. I mean, literally, like what you want to do is you want to call them, say, look, say, hey, look, if you don't hear from me over the next 90 days, this is how you do it. If you don't hear from me over the next 90 days, I don't call you. I don't take your phone calls. It's not personal. I'm launching a new project and I got to be 100% focused. And here's going to be down on the ground. And you might even get a text message from me, just saying, I love you, I miss you, whatever. But if you don't hear from me, don't feel bad about it. It's not personal. I'm just grinding. And that's the easiest way to do it. That's the most effective way of doing it because now you don't have to worry about communicating with anybody who's negative, anybody who would hold you back, anybody who would, talk down on what you're doing because they don't understand it or they don't want you to, outpace them or outperform them or, have a life that's better than theirs, right? And so, but they have to get away. They have to, detoxify. They have to cleanse. They have to fast. They have to get away from those people. So now all the negative, now they're now starting to come over here with all the positive. Now you get a chance to saturate, them with positivity, personal development, get them some success, work on them and their invites, work on them, in their sales pitches, work on them. And now you're pouring into them and investing time into them. And now, you know, that when they go and communicate with those people who they haven't been around for 90 days, they'll see the distance. I mean, they'll see the difference and they'll see how damaging it was. Okay. I don't know if you ever have any people who ever smoked a cigarette in your life. When I was 19, 18, I started smoking Newports and I quit when I was 19, right? Because I went to the military. And when I got around people who smoked cigarettes, it was the worst smell ever. Like literally, it was repulsive. It was like the worst. And it's like to the point to where I was never gonna be a hypocrite and tell them you shouldn't be smoking. And I was because that's what some people do. When you stop smoking, you go tell everybody that's what they shouldn't do and how bad it is for them. And they no, but it when you go back to a negative environment and you hear the toxicity, you feel the toxicity, you hear that a person, oh my God, they're gonna be stuck there for the rest of their life. You can hear that and see that after 90 days. Just get them around the environment. Keep them on three ways. Keep them on lifelines. Keep them on ride alongs. Put them in an environment where you're now changing and cultivating. The way they actually see the future, bro. That's how you do that. Keep them plugged into the system. That's how you do that. They can't come on and listen to the Millionaire Mentorship call for 90 days straight, for 3 months straight, and listening to JC, listening to the Pacheco's, listening to whoever's doing the Millionaire Mentorship call, and hearing all these stories and seeing all the success. They can't be exposed to this for 90 days and then go back to negativity and be like, man, I'm happy to be back here.
Mhm.
All right.
No, yeah, that's great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. All right. Who we got next?
John Giletti.
John,
Hey,
come
Mr.
on
Bean,
down.
thanks for all the great information. Hey, I got a question about the Zeta app. We're back on Zeta again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right. I'm on the app, but it shows that you don't have any token balance. What's up with that?
Okay. Yeah, there's no token balance on the app right now because they haven't put them on the app. And so that's what we want to make sure, guys, that first of all, the tokens, just so because we got a lot of brand new people who understand that they do have tokens. They when they purchase the Zeta, they understand that they were going to be rewarded with 50,000 tokens, right? That's to make sure that you are happy uh, for buying it in advance, right? And since they're not mining right now, that's the upfront gift that they gave you, right? And that's there. You're going to get that soon. But the reason why it's not there, the reason why they hadn't put anything on there is because they wanted to make sure that when they did, and they said go to hit the button, that they didn't have any problems with the blockchain that will interfere with the perception of Zeta. Okay, remember Zeta is the primary deal. Zeta is the actual um, the thing that's the blockchain came as an addition to help sell Zeta, right? But the priority is always Zeta. So you don't want to introduce something that because we know how human beings are. We know that the first time anything goes wrong or something goes haywire with the blockchain, they're gonna kill Zeta. It's what it is. That's human nature. So they hired the attorneys from well, they hired the attorneys that represented Ripple that will help them win the case for the company Ripple, XRP for those of you who understand it that way. And now that's like the fifth set of eyes, but the most expensive and most experienced set of eyes that we've had on the tokenomics. So that's going to be rolled out. As a matter of fact, again, it's all in the process. It's coming. And so, but that's to kind of give you the answer that how we got to where we're at. I just want to make sure you guys, just one thing I know about Kevin, he's a man of integrity. He actually has this thing going, and this is a baby. He's not gonna mess it up for anybody. He's learning token. If you think about a person that intelligent, also he's learning tokenomics at a rate of speed I've never seen anybody learn anything. And so, but no, he just wants to make sure that both sides, Zeta and the Zeta tokens are working for everybody because it's a life project, right? And so, but some people when they look at tokens, they look at it as a buy now, sell quickly, a pump and dump situation, or the typical, things that the typical way that tokenomics are handled by people in this industry. So, but that's kind of where he's at, and so we want to make sure you guys condition yourself, to make sure you have those conversations with your people. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you got that answer. So, because I'm quite sure somebody's going to ask you, and I want to make sure you're able to explain it to them.
Tim.
Hey, thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Hey, Mr. Bean, how you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, Sam. What's going on, bro?
Great, great. Hey, my question I was going to ask you at first, and you already answered. It was pretty much how were you able to build a large team and over 60,000 people in 35 countries, and what helped create the momentum and growth? And you just talked about it. So I had to think of another question. So the next one I had was been in network marketing for different companies for over almost 20 years, different ones. And this first time I've been in a binary. So still trying to understand the binary to have people that spill over, under and over. And when you're building team culture, normally, these people I've brought in, this is my team and such and such. But when you're building kind of a binary, how do you build that out, especially when it grows beyond you to say, hey, when you're sending out communication or you're doing events or different things to bring people all together because, hey, these are my people I brought in. We don't have none of that going on right now, but I'm just saying, I'm just wondering how does that look from your level, because you've been at that level. What does that look like as you start to grow out and everybody's not directly sponsored to you or your organization?
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that question because there's a couple of things about a binary that you really should know. One, when it comes to a binary, everything that falls beneath you, you get paid on, but it's not yours. Okay. It's just like where my grandfather's at. You got grandfathers on here who have sons who have children, and just because they're in your lineage don't mean they your grandkid ain't your son, right? Your granddaughter ain't your daughter, right? They're in your lineage, and you can support them, you can love on them, whatever. But remember, there's a such thing as access, and you have access that's limited, you have access that's full, and then you have zero access. So when it comes to me and my group, guess what? Um, I have Jabari who's above me, I have JC who's above me, and it may be a couple other people that may be above me, right? Now, at any point in time, I feel like, hey, oh my God, they got my team's best interest at heart. They have full. If I trust them, I love. I mean, we on the same page, same philosophies, everything. They have full access. Okay. Now, if I trust them, and I know what they're teaching, right? But I want to make that there's something about that person that may say, well, they may not have, I may not want them to have full access. They can have partial access or limited access. Then there'll be limited access. Or I just may have met them rather. Let's say that. But they know what they're talking about. They come highly referred. So I may give them limited access because if you give full access to a person and your team is not ready for full access, the person who you get full access to may become the leader of that person of your actual team, right? And so then you have some people who you give no access to at all. Those individuals who, I don't trust them. They're not teaching the same philosophies as the company. They're not teaching. They're not on the events. They're not plugging into the system. Everything that they're doing wrong. Yeah, character flaws. I'm not giving that person any access to my team. Right. So you have full, limited, and zero access. Right. Now, when it comes to, you putting things out, right? Everybody who's in, my lineage, in my binary, I'm here to help you, right? I'm here to help you because guess what? We all contribute. You all contribute to my income, right? Just like I contribute to Jabari's income. If I need Jabari for a three-wheel lifeline, guess what? I'm gonna call and say, hey man, like I got some people over here. They really jonesing on this solar. And you don't know, I don't know nothing about no solar, bro. So I need you to have a conversation, right? And so he's gonna have that conversation, right? And so but if you I'm if I but I have somebody that's in my organization like Matt and Roxy, right? Or like Roberto Robledo. And I'm not gonna just pick up the phone and go find out they people and who they people are and start building relationships around their backs. I'm not gonna do all of that, right? And so now that's the problem I would have with somebody trying to infiltrate my group, and start building relationships with my people without me knowing, without me understanding, not having access, not asking for access. Okay. But I will say, hey, Robert, hey, I got people, I'm about to have this event, and he'll say, hey, can I invite my people? Sure. He asked me if he can invite his people. Right. I've done some things with the other Roberto. We got 1A and 1A. You know what I'm saying? So Tavares, hey man, you mind if I bring some people on the call? Yeah, bro, bring some people on the call, bro. Bring Matt, Roxy, three ways lifelines all the time, right? Jenny, he's on the team, and guess what? I've had three ways and lifelines with her based on the fact that she was brought to me through Matt and Roxy. It's about respect, right? And if you just continue to serve and put it out there that you're there for service and that they can plug into anything that you do, at some point in time, that synergy and that trust and that again that'll all grow to where you guys will grow together. Okay, but just always have the intent and always be available. Always be, and when I say don't be available for abuse, right? Be available for people who are plugging in. Be available for people who are building. And be available for the people who are following the system. Again, don't let people abuse your time. Don't let people just call you and like just and just call you and abuse your time. Don't wasting your time. Don't like I don't let people call me who hadn't like if Roberto has somebody in his group and they call me directly, I'm going to ask them, hey, so what did Roberto say about this? All right. What did Donnie say about this? All right. What did Erica say about this? If you call me from you on somebody else's team, I want you to give your leaders an opportunity to get the questions answered, and then call me with them on the phone. Okay. Do a three-way. Do a lifeline. Ask them to get me on the phone. It's just respect, right? And so, like my neighbor, my kids are not going to go to my neighbor's house and ask them for anything or have conversation with them with anything. They're going to ask. They need to ask me first, but I might expect my neighbor to say, "Well, what did your pop say?" Right? And so it's like it's little stuff like that, guys. I'm gonna just tell you that can actually help you build a huge organization, or it'll tear your organizational down because you'll have dissension in your ranks. You'll have disrespect and insubordination. You have some people who again will now because they don't like how you, even though you're doing everything the right way, they don't like how you do it, or they're looking at this person's status and they'll go around you to them to try to get direct access to them, and that's and then if they do that and they are successful doing that, you are no longer that person's leader, and that's extremely disrespectful for one leader to do that to another one. So it's that type of stuff, guys, that you really want to be mindful of. It's all good, say, hey, one team, one dream, and everything like that. Everybody's got all of the nice little colloquialisms and the nice little sayings and things like that. But I've seen one team walk away with somebody else's dream before. Okay? It's happened to me. I was in a binary, Tim, where my wife and I, watched half our organization go to a company called it was Mona V, and the person who actually took them was our sponsor. So, yeah. So again, you got to understand this is your business, right? This is what you're building right now is a part of your legacy, right? This is like if I ask you guys right now, this is some high level stuff right now. So let me see here. Let me see who can I pick on right quick. Let me see here. Yeah, let me look at all of y'all. All right, let's see here. Who I want to pick on. So now I'm not gonna pick on anybody who knows me um like that. So I don't know AV, right? Now, if I ask AV to pull out a credit card, he'll pull it out, right? If I ask him to hand it to me, just man, that's nice, cool credit card. He may show it to me with his fingers over, the number, right? But he's not going to hand it to me. And if he's comfortable enough to hand it to me, if I ask him for the PIN number, he's not going to give it to me, right? And most people who wouldn't give you the PIN number to their credit card, they don't have $5,000 in their bank account with that PIN number, right? But a lot of you guys will have groups that are preparing to grow to large numbers, and you wouldn't give your 4-digit PIN number to an account that may or may not have $5,000 in it, but you'll give a person access to something that can create $100,000 a month, right? Your resources, right? And so why would you give? I'm not giving people access to my organization because that's my future. That's my stability. That's my security, right? That's my everything. I'm not building it today so you can take it tomorrow. I'm not gonna just give you my 4-digit pin to my group like that. Okay? I need to know that you're secured, right? So, but this is philosophical, Tim. This is the type of stuff, the kind of conversations that people don't have with people when it comes to network marketing and building that they really should, right? And so this is what you have at leadership boot camps. These are the type of conversations I have at leadership boot camps when I do my boot camps. But that help you out?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. Crystal clear. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Who we got next?
Evan.
All right. All right. And after Evans, what I'll do is I got a word for y'all for this weekend as far as how to build up some momentum toward this weekend and through this weekend and through the end of the month, and then how to build something special, when it comes to that the trading aspect of what we bring it to the table. But go ahead, Evans, what you got? Yeah, if you're talking, we can't hear you, but
He posted this question in the chat. His question was, what do you do when you have your reputation isn't as large and you're trying to build a team? What aspects do you do when that happens? Like when you don't have a reputation in network marketing as being a team builder or a leader?
yeah, that's you build it just like your credit. I mean, go back to your credit. If you don't have a credit line, nobody's gonna give you credit. So what you do is you go put your credit on the line. You go put your capital. You go get yourself a secure credit card. Put $250 on that credit card and borrow against it, right? And so what I mean by that is this: find your leader who has, the actual influence. Okay. Now you're using their influence, you're borrowing their influence to now build your organization. Remember, there are three stories. Okay. Your upline, senior partner story first. Okay. And so, you're when you can tell your senior partner story, your upline story, now people want to meet them. They want to talk to them. They want to do business with them. They want to be connected with them, right? And because that's the person who's got the credit. That person's got A1 credit based on you giving them that endorsement. Now, when they get started, right, they won't be the only one. Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to get other people to come and listen to your senior partner. Don't matter who your senior partner is, right? That senior partner has A1 credit because your edification is A1, right? So the more people you get to talk to the person who you're borrowing credit from, right? You're borrowing their credit, third party credibility, secure. But I'm telling you, now you get to the second story, which is your story. Man, look, I made in my first 30 days, I've never done network marketing before. I never had success in network marketing before. I never recruited anybody in network marketing before. But in my first 30 days, I sponsored 17 people. Okay. I got to a position called Builder 1500 because my group put in X, Y, and Z amount of people total. And now I'm excited about life because now I'm taking the $1,500 that I'm getting every month and I'm paying my two car notes with. And so now you have your story. That's the second story. Okay. So now your people who you have on your team, they're now using your story and using your credibility and using your presentation skills. So now you got the third story, which is the most impactful story, the most powerful story of them all. You want to talk about everybody else's story in your resume, in your group, right? So that's how you start that. Because if you think about it, the person who asked that question, he knew that answer. Evans knew that answer because I'm his sponsor and he uses me all the time. Three ways, lifelines, he uses me all the time. Right? We did a launch presentation for him and his group last week. He uses me all the time. He borrows my credibility, right? And now he's got his own because now every time I have an event, they have an event in Africa, I make sure that they know he's the country leader for me. I make sure I go back and I edify him. I build up his credit because I have A1 credit, right? And so if I have A1 credit and I'm the one giving out the credit, I'm giving it to him back to him. So now his credit portfolio is growing and people are looking at him different. He's more credit worthy. Oh, now he's got all these other people who are making money now. Oh yeah, all these other little institutions up on. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Now he's more than credit worthy. Now he's giving out credit. It's a process. It's cyclical. Okay. Everybody get that? All right, good. All right, guys. So since we're at the top of the hour, what I will do is this. I'm going to wrap it up, but I'm gonna wrap it up with letting you guys know we're talking about momentum. We're going back into where we started, momentum. Okay. All of y'all are in the right place at the right time. We'll know in 6 months to 12 months if you chose to be the right person. Okay. It's not about whether you like credit or it's not about whether you like trading or not. There are people out there who love trading. And there are people out there who are sick and tired of being taught by the wrong person or following the wrong person or being in a company that's shutting down or being sued or whatever it is when it comes to trading. And right now we have things in place, guys, where we are pulling off some really big plays, power plays. And I know Mr. Navarro, he's got, a platform that, I'm not going to tell you guys about. Just know this. It's the one platform around the world that everybody who has a network marketing company is trying to partner with. But guess what? They can't partner with that company because we have the exclusive. So if they want to partner with the company, they got to partner with the company through us. That's one. So you got a feather in your hat. Okay. Two, there are things that we can do in America, guys, legally, ethically, and morally that we're now licensed to do that we can't that other company, no other company in the trading space and trading platforms can do. I'm not going to tell you what that is because we haven't launched yet, and I don't have that permission, so I'm not going to get in trouble. Okay, but that again, another feather in your cap. Okay, these are things that we have that no other company has, guys, and then they have the best traders, in that company, and they're all super vetted, and again, they are all doing this thing, guys, on a high level where everybody's winning. Okay. That's very, very important. So that is going to launch right at the beginning of the month. That's our projected date. At the beginning of the month, that's supposed to launch. So that's one piece of the puzzle. Okay. Then we already had Roxy in house, right? When it comes to trading and again, having conversations with you guys, training with you guys, and she's going to be one of the master traders that we have for a specific lane, right? And then, so it comes to four options. I think it was options, and then futures as well. We have forex. So we have options, futures, and forex. Those will be the three that I know we'll be focusing on out the gate. And but we'll have one person specifically for each one of those. Now, we brought on a gentleman, and a lot of you guys have figured it out or heard about it. Donnie Pips, who guy's got a huge name, and it's a clean name, right? And it's a name that is highly sought after when it comes to people who want to trade and they want to learn how to trade without the fear of trading and everything else that comes along with it. Dude's a genius, like literally. Winston's met him, fell in love with him right away. Mr. Pacheco met him and he liked him right off the bat. And so the guy, and he's coming in. He's not coming in greedy. He's coming in with an insatiable appetite to help you guys. Okay. That's very, very important that you guys should understand that now you got a safe place, okay, with a master trader, okay, master trainer, okay, person who's bringing things to the table out the gate, who's doing a 2-day boot camp for you guys, and guess what? That boot camp is free, no charge. Like he can charge a lot for his boot camps. As a matter of fact, he has a 3-day boot camp that he's working on that I know. I think the ticket was a measly, paltry $2,000 ticket, something like that, which is nothing. Okay, for a 3-day boot camp, where you sit there and learn how to make 6 and 7 figures, in trading. But he's going to be doing a 3 hour a day from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time boot camp for you guys, right? It was 2,500. So I knew it was around it, but I knew it was still cheap either way. Um, Talking about taking a haircut on your door. But 7 to 10 Pacific Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday, he's going to be giving people, from the onset. This is a boot camp of the basics, letting you guys know exactly what to expect. You guys are going to see the simplicity, and it's going to take all the fear away, all the skepticism of trading away, anything and everything that could have been holding you up from trading is going to take away. Now, the thing that you want to know is this: it's free. It'll be the only free one that we have, right? Outside of the one that I think Rock that he'll do, right? So Roxy is going to do one in the future, same format, 2-day, 3 hours a day on her thing, but in her lane. But you have an opportunity to invite everybody in the trading space, right, to come to this event for free. The more people you get, to that event, the better chances you have at building a really nice size trading community. Okay. And when you build that trading community, remember, they can't be in a trading community without a membership. Let me tell you something about him. The integrity that a person has that he has, and he already had a trading group. but he closed his trading group down because he didn't want to have a side gig, a side deal, while he was, building with the company. He's making his people who paid him 149. I hope I ain't telling too much of your business. $149 a month, to be in his trading club to come over here. They have to join Build. He's not getting that 150 over here no more, right? So again, but that's how committed, how dedicated he is, how much of a team player he is. He himself told, Winston's, I'm here because I know you guys are doing big things and I know you guys are doing it in the right way and you're doing it with the right heart. I want to be a part of the reason why this company becomes an Amway, Mary Kay, Herbalife type size company. Okay? And so that's the type of people we're attracting now. We have more coming. But when people around the world see him here that trades for a living, I'm gonna give it, and I'll let you guys go. Give an example. When I put that banner out there with me and him on there saying we about to do this press release, I had a young lady who's in my group out of Memphis. Well, she's a part of the Memphis team out of Florida. She said, "Oh my God, tell me this. Is this true?" I said, "Yeah, this is true." She said, Donnie was a part of the trading team back during COVID that I was a part of, and I didn't have a whole lot of money. She said, but I took $200 trading with his E3 system. I took $200 and I made enough money to buy me a car. I said, wow. She said, oh my God, I am going to have a ball with this thing. So for her to say that, guy, that hit me up. My wife, she's never been like when you talk about excited, she hadn't been this excited about trading in her life. She's been trading before, but this is the simplest form of trading, that she's ever had her hands on. And she's waking up with the trading in her hands and going to sleep with her computer in her hands. I haven't seen her like this in a long time. So, guys, use this event to get as many people to that free event because this is your offering. This is your value add to them. I'm giving you a test drive of the system right now. Come test drive the vehicle. Come take a look at, Donnie, what he's training, and you'll see what we have our hands on. And again, guys, what's going to happen is you're going to have people getting started, not just themselves, but they're going to bring other traders to this company, right? People who have experience. That just because they have experience just means that they've traded before. An experience could be a bad one or a good one, right? Just because a person has experience doesn't mean they made a fortune. It just means that they've been trading. So when people who have experience come here, whether they made money or lost money, they will see some things that fill the holes, fill the gaps, that will put them in a position of comfort, that will empower them and really put them in a position where they want to go out here and just take this thing and run with it. So you don't have to believe me. You don't have to trust me. I just know what I'm talking about. I was up 3 o'clock this morning sending out text messages. Some of you guys saw me posting stuff all over the Facebook last night, Instagram last night. You saw 3 o'clock a.m. post, 2:45 post. I'm not going to miss this thing. And I challenge you guys to go out there and become the creator of momentum. Okay. I told you guys when I did Millionaire Mentorship Call, this last quarter is don't be playing around in this last quarter. Some of you guys can walk into 2026 with a foundation to be extremely wealthy people by the end of 2026. Okay. Just heed me. This is being recorded. Go back and go back and watch it. Listen to it again. Trust me. This is what they call calm excitement and energy. I love you guys enough to tell you the truth. When I look back and I see you where you're at, I'm saying I'm either saying I'm glad you with me or I hate you missed it. And I'm gonna love you whether you missed it or whether you got on board. It don't matter. My love is unconditional for you, right? But right now going forward, my time is not. And we are running with the runners. We're not walking with the walkers. The system will walk with you. So love you guys. See you guys at the top. See you guys at the bank. And I'll definitely see you guys on Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with guests. All right. Take care, guys.
Recording stop.